engines, distorting shields, immobilizing entire squadrons. Ships drifted helplessly as humans advanced, silent and deadly, a predator asserting dominion without bloodshed. The Dominion realized the truth too late. They had called for help. They had summoned chaos. They had awakened a force they could not anticipate. Humanity did not just fight to survive. Humanity fought to teach the universe a simple lesson: underestimate Deathworlders at your peril. Here is part 4, continuing the epic, cinematic HFY story with rising tension and awe-inspiring scale. The Dominion fleet faltered, their once impeccable formation splintering under the pressure of human ingenuity. Every strategy they had rehearsed for centuries crumbled as the resolute Dawn and its Deathworlder companions moved with a grace that belied their massive scale. Gravity wells, volcanic turbulence, and acid storms were no longer obstacles. They were tools, channels through which human strategy flowed like molten metal. The Dawn's energy rings pulsed steadily, a heartbeat that resonated across the battlefield. Ships beneath it mirrored its rhythm, engines humming in quiet defiance. Every weapon fired, every maneuver executed, was precise, calculated, and flawless. The Dominion realized, with a creeping sense of dread, that these humans had not merely adapted, they had mastered the chaos around them. From orbit, the alien fleet unleashed a concentrated assault. Particle beams carved arcs of red and violet across the void, torpedoes streaked like falling stars. And energy lances ignited clouds of plasma. The humans responded not with panic, but with a quiet inevitability. Deflectors bent beams, shields absorbed torpedoes, and countermeasures redirected destruction back toward its origin. What should have annihilated them only revealed their superiority. Inside the Dawn, the crew moved in sync, their movements seamless, a perfect orchestra of precision and resolve. Tactical holograms displayed enemy vectors, environmental hazards, and gravitational anomalies in real time. Each decision, each command, was a stroke of genius, a demonstration of why Deathworlders survived where others perished. The Dominion's leaders attempted to regroup. They fired in volleys meant to break morale. But the humans had anticipated this. Swarms of fighters darted through the chaos, exploiting every blind spot, every weakness. Gravity pulses from the Dawn bent space around enemy ships, slowing them, twisting their trajectories, leaving them helpless. What should have been fear for the humans was opportunity. A single cruiser broke formation, attempting to flee. Within moments, it was immobilized by a precise gravitational shockwave, lifted and held in place like a toy. The Dominion watched in horror as their ships, engineered for centuries of conquest, were paralyzed without a single human casualty, and then the humans advanced. Not in haste, not in rage, but with deliberate purpose. Every movement communicated a truth the Dominion could not deny: they had misjudged the prey. They had awoken a predator born in fire, forged in adversity, and tempered by impossibility. The Dominion fleet faltered completely. Systems conflicted. Decisions stalled. Their empire, built on control and fear, now faced a force that required neither. Humanity had not merely survived, humanity had taken command, and the galaxy, watching silently from the void, began to understand a fundamental truth: Deathworlders did not bow. Deathworlders answered with firepower. Here is part 5, escalating the battle and human dominance in cinematic HFY style. The Dominion fleet struggled to recover as the Deathworlders' tactics unfolded like a symphony of calculated destruction. Every attempt to regroup was met with precise countermeasures, every formation fractured under the adaptive genius of the resolute Dawn. Humanity did not merely react, they dictated the battlefield. Gravitational currents were bent to human advantage. Plasma storms, acid rains, and molten rivers became weapons, accelerating torpedoes, masking attacks, and isolating enemy squadrons. Swarms of human fighters moved like living shadows, vanishing and striking with lethal precision, exploiting every hazard the planet offered. What the Dominion had considered deadly obstacles were now extensions of human strategy. The Dawn advanced at the heart of the battle, its massive hull pulsing with blue-white energy. Shields shimmered, absorbing volleys of ionized beams and particle lances that should have shattered even the strongest vessels. Each strike was studied, every attack neutralized, every counterstrike calculated and executed with preternatural accuracy. Humanity had turned the art of war into an expression of will, intellect, and instinct. An alien dreadnought attempted a desperate assault, unleashing a torrent of destructive energy across the battlefield. Human forces responded with a gravitational pulse that froze engines, twisted trajectories, and immobilized the attackers without a single human casualty. Entire squadrons drifted helplessly as the humans advanced, quiet and deliberate. A force that demanded acknowledgement, not mercy. From the Dawn's Bridge, human officers observed with calm determination. They saw opportunity in chaos, beauty in strategy, and inevitability in their own actions. Every alien maneuver, every technological advantage, every threat had been anticipated. This was not mere combat, it was a lesson in what it meant to endure, to adapt, and to dominate. The Dominion fleet, for the first time in its history, realized they had underestimated a species forged by impossibility. Ships once symbols of unstoppable power now floated paralyzed, their crews scrambling against the certainty of human mastery. Fear, confusion, and awe replaced arrogance and discipline. The humans struck again, not with reckless force, but with targeted precision. A gravitational wave cascaded through the enemy formation, locking cruisers in place and crippling their fleet's command chain. Alien weapon arrays fizzled as energy was siphoned and redirected, leaving only the echo of their failure. Humanity had not come to plead, humanity had not come to negotiate, humanity had come to prove that survival on the harshest worlds had made them unstoppable, and in that vast, silent void, the message was clear: Deathworlders did not retreat, Deathworlders did not surrender. Deathworlders answered with firepower. Here is Part 6, the epic conclusion of your HFY story in cinematic, emotional, and immersive style. The Dominion fleet, fractured and paralyzed, floated like prey caught in an invisible snare. Ships that had once inspired terror now drifted aimlessly, their engines inert, their weapon systems silent, as if the universe itself had conspired to halt them. The resolute Dawn advanced steadily, its massive hull pulsing with restrained energy, a living monument to human ingenuity and defiance. Gravitational currents bent subtly around the ship, guiding it with absolute authority. Plasma arcs danced across its armor, but never harmed it. The attacks were absorbed, dispersed, and recalibrated into the Dawn systems. Every movement of the ship conveyed inevitability, not rage. Every display of human precision declared a truth the Dominion could no longer deny. These were not beings to be conquered, they were forces of nature, shaped by fire and adversity, and tempered by unshakable will. From the volcanic surface to orbiting warships, Deathworlder forces synchronized perfectly, each ship, fighter, and turret operating as if extensions of the Dawn itself. Alien attacks were countered with calm, calculated mastery. The humans did not chase destruction, they imposed order on chaos, turning the battlefield into a canvas of strategy that left the Dominion in stunned awe. A final attempt by the alien flagship to strike the Dawn was met with a single, silent gravitational pulse. Engines stalled, weapons locked, and the massive vessel drifted helplessly. No explosion, no fire, no fury, only the cold, undeniable assertion of dominance. The Dominion had called for help, but in answering, humanity had rewritten the rules. The Dawn's energy rings pulsed once more, broadcasting not aggression, but certainty. The fleet moved in unison, retreating from futility, leaving the humans with control of the void above the death world. Systems hummed, engines cooled, and a silence filled the space where chaos had raged, quiet, reflective, and absolute. On board the Dawn, crews stood with quiet pride, knowing that they had survived the impossible, defeated the unthinkable, and asserted humanity's place in the galaxy. Their legacy was no longer confined to their planet, it stretched across the stars, a testament to what it meant to endure, to adapt, and to rise. The Dominion had underestimated humanity. They had assumed fear, weakness, and surrender. They had discovered none of these were present. They had awakened the hunter, forged on worlds that demanded survival against all odds, and found themselves unprepared for the fire they had called forth. and as the last alien ship drifted into the shadows of retreat, a single truth echoed across the void. Here is part 1 of your HFY story, written in the cinematic, immersive, and epic style you requested. The galaxy had long whispered tales of worlds too deadly for ordinary species to survive. Worlds where storms could rip continents apart, where gravity crushed bones and metals alike, where predators evolved with a cruelty unmatched even in the vastness of space. To most civilizations, these were death worlds, uninhabitable, unapproachable, and forgotten. Yet on one such world, humans thrived. The dominion of XY, a coalition of alien powers who prided themselves on strategy, discipline, and the perfection of war, had long catalogued planets as liabilities.